The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off just after 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and markets melting into red overnight. You have the S&Ps. We're off by 1.1%. We're off by 78 points. We're trading at 68.04. We were as low as 67.86. All the action to the downside since the close of action last night. NASDAQ 100. Pretty similar chart. You trade to a low of 25,645. We're off by more than 1.5% right now. AI stocks pulling back. Palantir off on their numbers, strong numbers. But boy, living up to expectations, very difficult when the expectations of some of these equities. Dow up by 0.6% right now. Negative by 0.6%. We got right across the board. Dow off about 294 points, and the Russell off by 1.5% or 36 points. Bitcoin continuing the pressure downside, off by 2.6%, off $2,800. And yeah, I've had this line on this chart for a while, folks, and we're breaking through it. Now, we broke back there on October 17th as well. You had a low there of 103,745. We just hit a low of 103,920. So you're talking about within about a couple $100 of the lows made in October. Bitcoin off by 2.5%. Ethereum off by 2% as well, trading at 35.27. Crude this morning, a little negative pressure in crude. We're down by 85 cents, trading at $60.20. Gold under pressure as well. Gold off $35 at $39.79. Now, as the market has melted to negative territory, you got a little bit of higher price. Okay, it's risk off, buying fixed income, right? People sell stocks. What do they do with that money? Theoretically, you take it, you put it into fixed income, you go risk off. The 10-year up by 4 ticks. We're talking about a yield of 4.09 right now. You jump over the dollar, it's not stopping though. Not stopping at all. Okay, you got a little bit of lower yield, and the dollar's kicking in with strength again. Above 107 pennies right now for the dollar, and yeah, that's what's causing some angst in gold. As you back it up, with gold off by $35, off 0.9%. Coming right into the overnight low as we speak. Just got below that price level. You back things up for gold on a daily. And we have lows out here of 39.01. Now you look at gold on a daily. Okay, we're right at the 382 of this run that we had that began in August. You accelerate up to almost 4,400. You back off to the 382. You accelerate lower October 27th. October 28th with volume. Since then, we've dried up a bit on a little bit of this bounce. We'll see if that changes today. Today might be a big one. Shaping up to be. We jump over the VIX. Volatility index, 1936. How's that for a little volatility? Up to 2048, 1936. Volatility coming into this market. Okay, let's kick it off with Palantir. Despite sales surge, man, some of the numbers on this company. How about a revenue outlook of $4.4 billion and growing 63%? It's a staggering number, right? Revenue at 4.4%, you're growing at 63%. You don't got to grow many years in a row at 63% for compounding to do big things. But guess what? You're lower, okay? And it has to do with where they go forward, right? Investors wanted more guidance. Okay, they gave a forecast for the current quarter. And the pushback from Palantir is, we're in a nosebleed zone. No one else is here. Okay? Growth is being held down by a stagnant Europe. Still a significant part of their business. But yes, when you talk about going forward, when you're talking about almost a $500 billion valuation, you better believe it's confounding some of those analysts, folks. You're talking about a PE pushing 85, I think, coming into their numbers. Let's see if we pull it up. I mean, the profit is 21 cents a share. And yeah, you're growing at 63%. Okay, so you're going to have some multiples. But there's Palantir. Yeah, it's not stopping. You're down by almost $20 right now. We jump over to the Analyze tab. This thing was looking at about a $13 move in either direction. Looking at the options that expire this Friday. Let's see, where were we yesterday? 207. Yeah, so you were looking at about $10.50 in almost either direction if you want exposure through Friday. Now, exposure through Friday encapsulates a lot more than just their earnings. Tomorrow, we get the Supreme Court. They're going to decide on the tariffs. They're not going to decide tomorrow. But many times, you can make a very educated guess of where the justices are leaning from the questions they ask, rightfully so. You know, if they're skeptical of certain areas, they're going to ask certain questions to allow the parties representing either side to make their case against the skepticism or whatever it be. But so there's a lot of volatility to play out this week beyond their earnings. You're talking about $20 in either direction, though, almost for their numbers. But guess what? $17 to the downside. 189. You take a look at this thing. From $21 last August, and on a 2-year run from $17 to $207. Look at that volume profile, though. Okay, this is going back to February, folks. February. Now, that was a nice little spike that we got. This is a weekly, last week, but that is a weekly chart of consistently lower volume numbers. You put this on a daily, okay, disregard that, but that was the bar when you're talking about the volume numbers on the weekly. And yeah, we had some nice strength on August 20th. You had some real selling in the beginning of October. Yesterday, you come into those numbers on big-time volume. We'll see how today shakes up. But not the day you want to come out with the numbers and trade lower. And it seems like the market's paying attention to some Wall Street CEOs this morning. I mean, was this just like the straw that broke the camel's back? But yeah, Wall Street chief execs said investors should brace for an equity market drop of more than 10% in the next 12 to 24 months. So you have Capital Group, okay? And this is Morgan Stanley CEO, Goldman Sachs, David Solomon. We should also welcome the possibility there will be a 10 to 15% drawdown that are not driven by some sort of macro cliff effect. A healthy development was what it would be. And so you get some of those remarks. You get them at a conference going on. Yeah, during a financial summit organized by the Hong Kong Monetary Authority on Tuesday. And the tough part about this is people have been saying this forever, folks. As in, and I've been saying it as well, but that's, you know, to have a market move like we have today on the statement that we're on the high side of valuations, that should not be news. We are on the high side of valuations, but the future is what's going to drive those valuations potentially, and that's the argument, right? Would you say we're somewhere between fair and full? But I don't think a lot of people say we're between cheap and fair, right? So you don't have to be at full value, but people say you're between fair and full. You're not between fair and cheap. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk some AI. AI stocks were negative this morning. We got right across the board. We'll come right back, folks.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets. We got about 11 minutes to go until the opening bell, and we're going to get a test of those lower prices. Off 1.4% in the NASDAQ. We got some selling, and you got a VIX that's approaching 20 yet again. We hit it this morning, as in we hit a high at 2048. We're at 1910. You see that spike from 2 weeks ago on October 17th, where we were talking about potentially tariffs coming down the line, but not quite yet. But yeah, so you talk about CEOs, as one case puts it. And, you know, rightfully so. It's like, all right, so we're talking about, you have the elections today. They're going to get all the headlines. New York, all right. The socialist versus Cuomo and his history, who's now a Trump guy, but Cuomo can stand up to Trump, but Trump wants Cuomo to be in there. Quite an election, okay? And it's going to get all the headlines. But I don't think you'll get a market reaction off that, folks. Okay, what you may get a market reaction off, though, you better believe it, is tomorrow when the Supreme Court justices are talking about the tariffs. And yeah, you better believe it's going to be decided by some of the justices that he picked, because yeah, you got 3 of them on there, and it's an important one, and that's how it works. And boy, you know, we'll find out. This one, we'll pull up the betting markets, okay, because betting markets are real, man. You put your money behind it, and listen, sometimes they can do funky things, but in general, betting markets, you put your money behind something, that's the best way to find out the consensus of where things go. It's the whole argument for betting markets to exist, okay? And the tough part about this is, just thinking bigger, is that it should be a close call, okay? It should be a close call. The president gets a lot of flack. It's one of the tools that we can use against China, right? He makes that case. The one thing that's unfortunate that gets lost in here is that the president acts like We need tariffs. We need to be able to get it done, so he needs to have the power. And that's the part that I don't agree with, folks, and throwing it in, okay? We have the power. We have the power. Congress has the power. He wants unilateral power, right? And he's using it in an emergency declaration. And it's always the party in power loves it. The party out of power doesn't love it. And that's why it's a close call, though, because emergency declarations do warrant different uses from presidents versus Congress versus the ability to act quickly. But when you think of it from a business perspective, okay, it's going to be very difficult if we now go back and forth in a polarity of presidents where the economy shifts completely overnight and it has nothing to do with Congress, and each president uses it as an emergency declaration. Because we have the ability to enact tariffs. We have the ability to do anything we want. We have the ability to alter the Constitution if we want, right? If you don't like something in the Constitution, you do. You don't like the way that the Supreme Court rules, that's the argument made. You could put it in or out of the Constitution. Well, we have the ability to tax imports, okay? We do. And so that's the tough part of how this plays out. If he gets that right, okay. And then we go back and forth in terms of that ability to seesaw, and it's very difficult to imagine the capital decisions the company's making that, and it's made under an emergency declaration. At any time, folks, things are made on an emergency declaration, you always want to question, okay? Because, listen, we all know how that goes, but this one's the one, all right? You want to see some dollar movement, you want to see potential for yields to react, you want to see potential for markets to react. Yeah, you better be paying attention to what's going on in the Supreme Court on Wednesday. And yeah, there's, no matter who you hear, folks, listen to some great arguments. It's a toss-up, okay? Everyone's going to have their opinion, but even the justices on the Supreme Court go a little, they don't hold partisan on this in certain aspects, okay? You got and they're just talking about the picks that Trump has, whether it's Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, or Coney Barrett, and then Roberts, who's always a wild card on the court right now. So that's Wednesday, man. Put it on your calendar. All right, we talked about Palantir, talked about Bitcoin. Yeah, the Wall Street CEOs, of course. Valuation angst. So somehow that just happens overnight? I don't know. Yeah, Bitcoin's been under pressure. Okay, and that's what they talk about again, that you had a Hong Kong summit, you had Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs. I mean, what are those two guys doing, right? I guess that's the deal. But you're both out there saying that market's due for a pullback and you're the banks? I don't know. Goldman Sachs, you're down slightly with the market this morning. Morgan Stanley. What's going on there? Oh, we got a bad tick yesterday. There you go, Morgan Stanley. Off about a couple bucks to 162. Checking on Palantir, about 191. Uber had their numbers today as well. You're going to drop to about 91 bucks. Decent numbers for Uber, but again, story of valuation and expectations. You were at 100 after the market. You come out with the numbers this morning. You're at 91 bucks. Uber's been in a great channel. Look at this thing. From the beginning of 2023, bottom of that channel, it's going to be at about $84. Look at the volume we had yesterday pushing higher. You jump over the Uber numbers. Yeah, how about ride-sharing monthly active consumers up 17%. Revenue jumped 20%. Gross bookings up 21%. 21% gross bookings, $49.74 billion. and the market drops 8%. That's the worry in this market. Now, you jump over to Palantir, all right? You got a lot going on Palantir this morning. You have Michael Berry, the big short, okay? He's out there, and he put his positions out there. And his biggest positions, folks, are a boatload of puts in Palantir and in NVIDIA. Well, yeah, you better believe this one. Alex Karp, who's outspoken in his own right, the CEO of Palantir, calling out Michael Berry by name after his filing. And yeah, he's got a boatload of Palantir puts, which are going to pay off probably nicely this morning when you're down $18 right now, but a lot of volatility priced into those puts, of course. And he's got NVIDIA in the mix as well. NVIDIA going to open down about $4 to $202. Amazon, big winner yesterday. You're dropping about $5 today. Microsoft shares down $6 as well. It's going to be an interesting one. We're coming back for the opening bell, folks. Stay tuned.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open, and we got the NASDAQ 100 off about 1.5%, 387 points in the red, 25,715. You see the lows overnight, 25,645. S&Ps, you're negative by 75 points, 1.1%, 6807. You got the Dow off by 325, 47,142, and you got the Russell off by 1.4% or 34 points in the red at 2445. Bitcoin We're about to break the overnight lows, $104,140. You're down by $2,900. And yeah, it's basically the ultimate growth stock. And what I find myself wondering is, if people are really worried about valuations, sell-off, speculation, okay, Bitcoin in theory would lead it on the way down. It's the ultimate growth stock of exuberance. And the run-up has not even been that fantastic this year. When you look at what other equities have done, what growth stocks, what AI stocks have done. Okay, you came into the year at about 100,000. You were up 27% at a peak price. And realistically, right now, people who were in from November through February are in break-even prices in Bitcoin right now. That's a problem compared to where the rest of the market is and how Bitcoin's been underperforming that market. Now, Ethereum, different story. Okay, you got a lot of people that could be in winners from earlier in the year because of the volatility it had, but you are now basically break even on the same yearly basis, year to date for Ethereum. All right, we jump over to Palantir on their numbers. Whoop. PLTR down $15 off 7.3%, 192.42. Check in on Uber. Strong numbers for Uber, but they sell it off about 8%. 91.64 for Uber shares right now. We jump over to Yum Brands, up by 5.3%. Now, they're going to review a strategic option for Pizza Hut, opening the door to a sale. No more Yum Brands Pizza Hut potentially, but that's what they're looking at, which has struggled in recent years. The chain's share of U.S. pizza market has shrunk from 22.6% in 2019 to 18.7%. It's quite a drop-off when you look at the percentage of share of Pizza Hut. But yeah, I'd kind of agree. I'm a Domino's guy when we go for it. They got me. Papa John's off by 0.9% right now at the market. What is Domino's? I should know. DPZ. There it is. Up by 0.7%. All right. Checking on some of the tech stocks. Amazon off by 1.5%. Not bad with this market right now accelerating. Palantir continuing the drop off by almost $18 right now to $189. So what I'll say, folks, and I've been saying it, it's just been an extraordinary run. Okay, a lot of you out there, listeners, viewers in the Tiger's Den and the YouTube Tiger's Den, a lot of you are traders. Okay, that's why you're watching this channel, you're traders. We're all investors to a certain degree, okay? And if you're a trader, I would draw a line in the sand if you have some trades in there that you're thinking about selling or that you plan on selling, right? If you have trades in this market that you are going to sell anytime in the near future, you don't have to sell today, but draw a line in the sand. Set a stop, write it down, tack it to your wall, okay? So that you can't play the head games that we all play, right? To convince yourself that there's no way you're going to sell today when the market's down 440 points and we're basically at a standard deviation or two and you're probably going to get a bounce, right? Meanwhile, pick a stop, folks. Set it. The runs have been extraordinary. Now, the other side of that is, okay, if you have equities that you're going to hold because you believe in the future, you believe in the capital they're spending, and you're going to hold them for 5 years, 10 years, or in perpetuity, then you got no problem, okay? I would not have said that, hopefully, even though I was during the dot-com bubble, right? Because, boy, if you're holding certain equities that are based on no revenue whatsoever, then you better be worried that even on a longer term basis, you could be in trouble, right? If your only position was in OpenAI right now, you better believe that you have some volatility potentially coming down the line. And realistically, folks, they're going to be around, okay, just building out that type of infrastructure, but the debt that you could have, the dilution that could take place to raise that money, okay, do not underestimate the fact that when OpenAI goes public next year at a $1 trillion valuation, they need to ramp up their revenue, and they want to spend $1 trillion a year by 2033. It's all speculation 8 years into the future. But one easy way to do that is to come to the market for equity and to dilute your shares at a minimum. Now, that's only if they're struggling, okay? They don't want to do that, but it's a lot of money, and this market's jittery right now. NVIDIA off by 3% right now. You jump over to the other magnificents. Microsoft handling it well, off by 1.3% right now. Google off by 1.8%. Yeah, Palantir's not stopping. Off by $20 or 10%. We got a lot of red across the board in the stocks that matter, folks. Look at this S&P 500. Micron down 6%. AMD, I think we got AMD after the bell today. Is that correct? I believe we do. Off 4.5%. Palantir, the brightest of red. Tesla off by 4% as well. Let's take a look at the weekly on Tesla. Yeah, it's had some decent volume on this push to almost 450. We're off by 4.2% right now for Tesla shares. All right, staying with some earnings. Ferrari. So they've had some problems recently. That drop off in October. Scaling back their EV aspirations. But they got a little bit of a jump. You're up by 1.4% on a negative market day. And reaffirming their guidance. Net profit, about $440 million for the quarter. And the market was looking for about 367 million euros. They came in at 382. So you beat by 15 million euros. Third quarter revenue, up 7.4%. Total shipments, 3,400 cars in 90 days. That's it. You want a Ferrari? You got to be one of those 3,401 people that got a shipment of a Ferrari, and probably even less. I'm assuming some of those buying multiple Ferraris, right? Yeah, and they reaffirmed their guidance, so maybe just assuaging some of the fears of this drop-off. And, this is a perfect example, right? You're in this thing forever, that's great. You want to be a Ferrari owner, and you believe that there's no other Ferrari, you buy that thing at a valuation perspective. But you're a trader, folks, You're at a dicey area of support. Pick a line in the sand below this if you're going to sell out anytime soon, because you break below here, and you're talking about breaking out of an area of support that's been building at since February of 2024. And the way I look at trades like this, okay, is that this is a probability business, folks. Okay, you look at this area, and you say to yourself, you know what? I like the support here. Okay, you look at the volume. We got some selling, you get some buying. We've had some selling, you've had some buying for support at this price level. Okay, I like the probability that this area at around 400 holds. I'm going to get in and you're going to get a stop, because guess what? No, you're going to be wrong. Okay, so, and when you're wrong, get out of that position. And we got the NASDAQ off by 420 points right now. S&P's off by 80. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open, and you got some red, but we're catching a little bit of a bounce. Right now, NASDAQ 100, we just almost bounced 100 points from where we were. You take a look at the heat map. This is the S&P 500 we're looking at, down by 66 points right now. Some of the areas of green over here, Apollo, they had big numbers, up by 7%. APO, let's check out them. Bloomberg had a guest from Apollo on this morning. Tursten Stock, is that his name? I'm probably mispronouncing it. But they were congratulating him on the numbers, and I chuckle as in, yeah, some big numbers, up by 5%, but this stock's been under pressure. Okay, look at this thing. Yeah, look at this sell-off we got for Apollo. Be careful of Apollo here, folks. You know, we got a lot of selling on the week of October 6th. You drive down to the lows. You can't break the lows of April. But look where this thing is compared to the market. You're bouncing right now. It's only Tuesday, so that volume means nothing on a weekly. We put this on a daily. You got a lot of selling driving that market for Apollo down to about 120. Some action yesterday. Look at the sell-off we have today already. Yeah, so as I mentioned, you get the disclosure by Mr. Berry. Let me see if they have it up. Yeah, he's talking about the circulatory nature. Now, he put this up before the numbers last night on Palantir. I was looking for the screenshot of the actual position he had, but it's a lot of Palantir puts and it's some NVIDIA puts as well. And they're both down this morning. NVIDIA off 2.2% and Palantir off by about 8.5% this morning. Let's talk some cruises. So Norwegian, boy, they've been one of the strongest out there. Okay. No, not Norwegian. Excuse me. Royal's been the strongest. Norwegian, we're down by 8.4% on their numbers. They miss on revenue. They were supposed to bring in more than $3 billion, 3.02. They took in 2.94 for the quarter. But yeah, that's a problem if you're talking about missing revenue. That's a weekly. You take a look at this thing on a daily. Some big volume yesterday as well. There's Carnival. You're off by 6%. Look at this run on Carnival, man. So look at Carnival, all right? You're in a downtrend channel. COVID rips it out of that channel. You accelerate back to 2021 highs that put it right back into that channel, okay? Now that's some reference for where this channel comes from that we're talking about. You put this on a 5-year weekly. There's the channel, the tail end of it. And what happens? You come out of it, you fight it, you fight it, you fight it. It's quite a break right there with a little strength. And yeah, we had it here as well. You pull back on the lighter volume. This thing's taken off. I say that, I wouldn't be touching it right now with this selling, though. You're coming into this bar from June 23rd. But, boy, that is some selling off the top. Selling last week, and this is going to be a big week as well. Yeah, and Royal's the strongest. Look at this chart. Whew, not a good chart for cruisers right now. You got some selling on their numbers last week. Yeah, look at this. All right. Yeah, and some other equities. Sarepta. Oof. Down by 31%. And unfortunately, their late stage study testing 2 gene-targeted therapies for muscular dystrophy did not meet their goal, as they put it. So they come out with their numbers last night from $25 down to 14. You're back to 17 right now. Look at Amazon holding up well. Now, consumer staples, one of the areas holding up well right now. Walmart up by 0.2%. Target down by 1%. TJX flat. Let's take a look at this equity. Yeah, you want a nice channel. You're looking to get in TJX? Put this channel on your charts, folks. Look at how it just rolls over at the top. We're flat today, though, holding up well. Coals, quite a run from the lows of $6. We've got a little bit of meme volatility in there as well. Coals off by 0.2% right now. Mickey D's up by 0.5%. You know, if you're looking to get in Mickey D's, folks, we're on the better part of where you're looking on this equity, I tell you. Now, again, set a stop if you're trading this thing, okay? Because we're down from 326 in March to 297. You're vastly underperforming the market. But you put this thing going back to 2015, okay? You had a really well-defined channel to the upside. You're approaching the lower boundary, and you've been pushing that boundary for, you touched that area in June. That's where we started the year off. Back down there approximately in October, and we're back down there again in November. Market's caught a little bit of a bounce. NASDAQ 100 up by about $100 off the lows, but Palantir still near those lows, off by about 9%. All right, we check out gold. All right, keep your spikes up, folks. In that gold market, boy, everything has been quite a run. Okay, and they're selling everything. They're selling equities. They're selling Bitcoin. They're selling gold this morning. They're buying the dollar, though. That's even coming with yield lightening up. So we have lower yield, and you got dollar strength. Dollar's strong right now. 100.15 on that dollar. Jump over to the gambling stocks. So they got a downgrade to neutral from buy at Bank of America. And yeah, you better believe they have some unknowns out here. Look at this fall from where we were just in August. Down by another 3.5% right now. That's DraftKings. FanDuel or Flutter down by 3.2% from 313. And they do have a problem because they're going to exist, right? Competition was already fierce, but it's all about profits. They're going to find it very difficult to make profits when you got election markets now eating into their business with competition, period. All right, folks, we'll come back. We'll take a look at some more equities. Look at this charge higher. Archer Daniels Midland out with their numbers. You were lower in the pre-market. You're back to just down 1.7%. NASDAQ off by 317 points. The NASDAQ 100, but we got a little bit of a bid on the opening bell. We're coming back for one more segment, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets picking up a bid. Still off by 1%, the NASDAQ 100. But yeah, you're talking about a run right now of almost 200 points from the lows. You hit a low of 25,663. We're at 25,850 from those lows. S&P's off by 50 points or 0.7%. The Dow off by 0.5% or 225 points in the Russell. It's quite a pop in the Russell as well. You're up by almost 1% off the lows, even bigger. Yeah. More than 1% off the lows for the Russell. We're negative by just 0.7%. Bitcoin catches a bid as well. We're at 103,000. We're at 105,000, just like that on Bitcoin. And yeah, so tomorrow, we got the election today in New York. It's going to get all the headlines, folks. But boy, you better get ready for tomorrow's decision because it's a big one. I mean, we grew up in a time where the power of taxation, the power of the purse, and spending rested with Congress. And this decision, the journal's out here in an opinion piece pushing back on it, saying that, yeah, he shouldn't be king, and the last part is where it sums it up. is that, yeah, every president can be the tariff king, right? Every president. An all too likely example is a climate emergency to tax imports of countries with high CO2 emissions. Any emergency. Because if the president says it's an emergency, then who are we to question his declaration of emergency, right? Well, they're taxes, folks. They're called tariffs, but they're taxes. Paid when you import products, it's a tax. And for the longest time, that held with Congress. And we might need tariffs, okay? Here's the thing. Separate the two. You could make the case that we do, right, with China. But where it goes off the rails is you got Canada makes an ad, they get tariffs, right? It's a tool of the president in a negotiation as opposed to a power of the purse. So we'll find out. Either way, it's going to be a big one tomorrow, and they'll start reacting. We're getting a bid. S&P's negative 48, NASDAQ 100 off just 241. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned. We got our man Basil Chapman coming up next. We got our man Steve Rhodes at 11 o'clock, folks. Stay tuned. They're coming up right now.